morning and welcome to a week in November. I have just recorded a podcast, and during the podcast I suddenly remembered that I was going to be doing a week in November vlogs this week, and I'd forgotten to sit down and do an introduction before I recorded the podcast, which was my plan. But anyway, I forgot. I was doing the school run this morning and it slipped my mind completely. So now I am post-podcast. I thought I would sit down and say hello to you all. So as always, my week in November vlogs are just little daily vlogs, snippets throughout my week, a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more relaxed than the podcast, a little bit worse lighting. I changed you around because I was like, if you've just watched the podcast and then I'm going to be in exactly the same position for the intro to the vlogs, that would be a little bit odd. So I thought, it's fine, I'll spin you around. I'm still sat in the same chair, you're just getting a slightly different view of the bedroom. But I didn't quite factor in the fact that the light would be coming from a different angle and it makes me look slightly creepy and old. But yeah, so behind the scenes kind of stuff, snippets of my work day and what I'm up to and things like that, basically. Right now, I need to tidy up because post-podcast chaos is always a thing, especially considering that for this podcast, I got out all of my blanket projects. So I've got quite a lot of projects that need to be tidied up and put away. And then I need to work out what I'm doing today. I've been changing up the way that I plan my weeks out. So we had an electrician come last week, and hopefully we will be getting a quote from him over the next couple of days to put in 2 extra sockets in the garage, and also to transfer. He's going to put me in 2 new circuits so that I can have a circuit. So basically, he's going to put in a new circuit for one double socket and a new circuit for another double socket so that I can get 4 burners, but they'll be on different electricity circuits so that I won't risk overloading them, and I will be able to get more burners going in the garage without having to risk flipping the electrics for the house, because that has happened. I'm hoping to get that done. I don't know, I'm not quite sure on the timeline for it, but I'm hoping to get that done before the end of this year, which would be amazing because that will double the amount of work that I can do in a day, which means that hopefully I will be able to have, you know, when I'm really busy, I won't need to dive for as many days. That's the plan anyway. Basically, I'll be able to have 4 pans on the go instead of 2 pans, which would be a big help actually. So I'm trying to kind of change my work week a little bit. So Mondays I do the podcast and I do more admin-y tasks, but I don't dye any yarn. And then the rest of the week I dye yarn. So yeah, so I need to go and work out what my admin-y tasks are for today. I obviously need to edit the podcast. I think I've got a little bit of warping that I need to do because I am planning a stripy update in December. And I need to tidy up post-podcast. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to tidy up and then I'm going to go and work out what else I need to do. So it is now about 12:30, 12:15, I'm not 100% sure. And I still haven't actually done any work yet. You are in the tea cupboard. I am just making a cup of tea. I decided to do a bit of cleaning, a bit of housework, because it's been neglected. It has been dreadfully neglected over the past few weeks. I managed to do a big downstairs clean a couple of weeks ago because we had some friends coming round to do an in-person D&D one-shot session, and I'd never met them before. They're Tom's work colleagues, who I'll now call my friends because we're going to carry on doing some D&D with them. But yeah, I'd never met them before, and I'm one of those people who, I'm quite house proud, but I'm also very lazy and hate cleaning. So it tends to get left until I absolutely have to do it, which is not ideal. It either gets left until I absolutely have to do it, or until I start spotting things and thinking, oh gosh, that's really dusty. Oh, I really need to hoover that bit. Oh, and then all of a sudden it'll just get to the point where I'm like, no, I can't live like this anymore. I have to clean everything. So I'd managed to get the downstairs has been pretty decent the last few weeks, but upstairs just was in dire need of a hoover. And our ensuite, which is one of the, we've got three, so we've got a downstairs cloakroom, we've got a main bathroom upstairs, and then we've actually got an ensuite shower, toilet, sink kind of thing as well. And our ensuite is what tends to get left, because obviously I clean the downstairs cloakroom quite often, because if we've got anybody coming in, then that's the one that guests or people that visit tend to use. I tend to clean the upstairs bathroom because that's the one that gets the most use because the kids have baths. But then our ensuite is always the one that gets left until the end because the kids aren't making it messy, so it's just me and Tom. So yeah, that was in dire need of clean. So I've done that. I've thoroughly cleaned the ensuite bathroom. I have hoovered the stairs and hoovered all of upstairs, which looks so much better now. I have got 2 loads of laundry done, and I've sorted through a few bits and pieces that needed to go away. I've put away a load of laundry, all of those kinds of bitty things, and it's now like 12:30. But to be fair, I actually feel quite good for having done them because I haven't been able to recently. And it's funny because the last few months, if you've been watching my podcast and you've been watching my vlog, my weekend vlog thingies, don't quite know how to word them, then you'll know that the last few months have been hectic for me, have been absolutely chaos. And I'm finally at a point where things have calmed down. So actually being able to take most of a Monday to do some cleaning, do some housework and things like that is a real novelty over the last few months. So it's actually been quite nice to be able to do it. And do you know what? I've got a few bits to do. I had Mondays, as I said earlier, are reserved for kind of admin-y stuff at the moment. So I need to edit the podcast. That's what I'm going to do now. And I also tend to pack orders on a Monday so that they can go out on a Tuesday. I do the same on a Thursday or Friday. But I only had one ready to ship order. So that's nice. So that's all packed up. And actually, I think it might be small enough to go in the post box. So I might pop that in the post box when I pick the boys up from school later, which will save me a trip to the delivery office tomorrow. So yeah, I've only got a couple of emails that I need to send. And that's about it. So I think I'm going to edit the podcast and then hopefully reward myself with a little bit of crafting time before I have to pick the boys up from school. Arthur wants me to play. He got for his birthday, well, he hasn't had his birthday yet, but for his party, we let him open any presents that he was given at his birthday party. So they opened them last night, and he got given a board game version of the Pokemon trading card game. So it has like a board and it's got all the instructions of how you actually play the Pokemon trading card game. And it's also got a few decks, proper decks of cards in there as well, which takes me right back to my childhood. Because my brother is a few years older than me and he was obsessed with Pokemon cards when we were young. And I can remember playing the Pokemon trading card game with him. So I've promised Arthur I will play that with him when he gets home from school. So I won't be able to do any knitting when we get home. Excuse the sounds of the washing machine spinning in the background, but look, I finished Norwin's little ice cream. So cute. The colour I used for the top didn't quite have the effect I was hoping it would. I was hoping it would be like little rainbow sprinkles, but it's actually ended up kind of striping slightly. But the bottom one worked well. How cute is that? So, whoops, I've dropped it. I don't know if I can put this back in one-handed. She's all ready to pop up on the shelf with her ice cream and join the other gnomes. I've been catching up with Ellie's podcast, Craft House Magic. I am miles behind on podcasts, but I wanted to catch up with Ellie's because I know that her baby is due very, very soon. So I wanted to try and catch up before that happens. And I did dig my e-spinner out in the hope that I might get a little bit of time before I have to pick up the kids to do a little bit of spinning. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. There we go. There's Norwin up with all the other gnomes. I can't remember the names of all the gnomes, but there should be seven different mystery gnomes. 1, 2, 3. Last year's Advent one makes 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. I said on the podcast today that I would try and show you this a bit more clearly so you can see the patterning on my Cozy Memories blanket. And actually, I think the light here really shows it off. So where this stitch marker is the central point. And as you can see, it kind of comes out in a diamond from that point, and then you've got 2 diamonds on either side. It comes down into kind of figure of 8 diamondy bits down here. But yeah, it is symmetrical. In fact, it's symmetrical 4 ways, I think. So it's got horizontal and vertical symmetry. Is that the technical mathematical term? So yeah, it's been a bit complicated to get that accurate. But I mean, it is very effective. I love the way it looks. I love the way that the different lines go round. And the kind of patterning of it. I can't say that I would do the same again if I ever knit another Cozy Memories blanket, but it's definitely very effective. And then this is my plan. So I drew it out once I realised I wanted to get the symmetry the same. So this is kind of how it's going to go. All the highlighted bits are the bits that I've done, and the unhighlighted bits is what's remaining. So it's getting there. It's not far off. We're very nearly at the final row on the top. I'm catching up here. Was my plan, was to catch up to this point here, and then I can go back round the sides. But yeah, that's what it will look like once it's finished. But yeah, it's quite effective. I'm not sure I'd say I'd recommend it, because it's definitely been more complicated ending up doing this way, especially considering I only started doing it this way because I messed up 2 squares. But yeah, it definitely does look quite effective. So I've got to go and get the boys. I must remember that the camera is over this side of the screen and not look at myself. I'm dreadful at that. I've got to go and get the boys in about 10 minutes or so. I have to leave. Well, actually, what time is it? 25 to 3. Okay, maybe 15 minutes. But look, I've actually made time and found time, and I have filled my first bobbin on my e-spinner. I'm really pleased. It's wibbly wobbly all over the place. I'm wondering if I can get that to focus. The lighting's a bit dodgy. The problem with being here by the window is that all the light in the afternoons comes straight in the back window, and we haven't got any blinds in there yet. We need to get a blind that we can kind of bring down. Anyway, I have filled a bobbin. I now need to work out how to put a new bobbin on and all of that kind of thing. But that's not bad for about, I don't know, maybe an hour. I don't think it was even an hour actually that I was spinning for. But I'm really pleased to have actually made time. I'll regret it when I have to catch up with my warping later in the week. But I've given myself leeway and time and stuff like that, so that I've got time. It's fine. I'm trying to make November a little bit more of a relaxing month after the last few months of chaos. But I am all caught up with Ellie's podcast, which is lovely. And I've had time for spinning. Yeah, it's been a nice day, actually. I finished my gnome. Well, I'd already finished my gnome, but I finished the ice cream. I did some cleaning. Yeah, it's been a good day. I need to sort the kitchen out. The kitchen is chaos, but I will do that later on when I cook the boys' tea. I need to swap over some laundry before I go and get the boys, so I better go and do that. But yeah, I'm just going to finish getting the podcast set up so that it will go live tonight, and then I will go get the boys. So Chrysalia is going to do a roar again. So he heals 30 and he does another 60 damage to Moltres, and Moltres is...
fainted. Has fainted. So, I'm Chef Jasper today, and Arthur's just playing his game, but we're making dinner right now. And Mummy's helping me. And Mummy right now is cutting up the onions, which I got out of the cardboard dust right over there, guys. Right over there. And this is our menu. So look, it says spaghetti bolognese.